Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 in this thing, baby. You already know, man. So, look, I've been doing some research, my boy, and you guys, this is kind of crazy. Actually, this is crazy. So, we just found out that Crystrons are getting some new support, and it's actually really, really gas. This deck is near unplayable. This is probably an OG concept to my OG fans, but I really cooked hard with Crystrons and tried to make them so viable, and I created like this 3-axis Crystron deck back in the day, and it was pretty fire, bro. It was really explosive. It had just a ton of gas. It was playing so many cool cards. It's not viable now, but it was viable back then, and it wasn't even like a conventional build, you know. It was 60 card gas. I think that we're going to go over these cards, but I think that these definitely take this deck way over the echelon of where it is right now. And it's 100% going to be, at bare minimum, playable on a tier 2 level. That's just how I feel. We're going to talk about the first cards that we got, though. If you like this kind of content, subscribe. Leave a like, leave a comment, let your boy know how he's doing. Without any further inclusion, let's talk about the first card. So it's a continuous spell, Crystron Inclusion. Continuous is kind of bonkers because it's a face-up card that Crystrons can pop to. When this card's activated, add a Crystron card from your deck to your hand, except Inclusion. That's broken. That's insane. The first time each of your Crystron monsters will be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed. You can bench this card from your grave, target a Crystron monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use this effect of Inclusion once per turn. You can only activate one per turn. So it's a starter, it's an extender, and it's protection. This is the trend that Konami has with everything that they're making now. They make a card that has a good enough effect to already make it playable, and then a bonus effect for the long run so that it has sustainability, and then an effect that shouldn't be there. They always do this. Everything's getting the popular treatment, you know what I'm saying? 3 effects, and one of them is always going to be for no apparent reason at all should it have the third effect. But this card's absolutely phenomenal. It's easy to get in the grave because you can literally just pop it with your own Crystron cards. I could see this definitely being a 1-card combo. The deck already has some pretty nice 2-card combos, but this card definitely just skips kind of like a couple steps. So I think this card's really strong. It's nice that the not that this Fern, but the Smyger actually has like good search targets now. Yeah, like no spell card targets that were even good. And you were just searching like a bad trap, which was literally in the form of impact, just to set up synchro plays on your opponent's turn, and even that card just is not that good. The deck was just really poo. Then we got Sulfudhole. That's a that name is out of pocket, bro. That's actually crazy. We're not gonna talk about that right now. So if this card's in your hand or grave, you could target a Crystron card you control, destroy it. And if you do special summon this card, also you cannot summon for the extra deck except machines. They always do that to you. It's a machine deck. It's what keeps this deck from being really strong when it can be better, is because you can't summon any generics, not even off the Crystrons themselves. So they really do lock you, and the Crystrons didn't have that many good machine like synchros you could go into that could disrupt outside of like Dawn Dragster, which was one of like the best cards you could make back in the day. All the other ones really didn't have like an effect that did something crazy enough to interrupt your opponent. So it already inherently gets itself out. It's very much like Sulfudhole. Sulfudhole is broken, you guys. So it's an extender, and it's a starter as well. Okay, it's a starter. This card's normal or special to send up to 2 Crystron cards with different names from your deck to your grave. You guys, that's actually pretty broken. Because that also insulates cards. So Impact has a greater effect that nobody ever knows about because nobody plays this deck. I'm probably one of the 3 people in the universe that play Crystrons. During the player's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard. When a card effect is activated that targets a Crystron monster you control, banish this card and negate that effect. So this can also set up for like insulation if you already have what you need. But it also could just dump 2 really powerful names like Smyger and Thisfern, dump Rosenix for a token extender, dump Sulfudhole, which could still get access to all of them. And this is going to be exceptional to have Hole and Sulfudhole in the grave so that your follow-up is actually crazy. Because your follow-up's in the grave. and you're guaranteed crackback, but just like always having Crystron cards to add. So like you really don't need to worry about what's in your hand. Like the resource manager is gonna come out the grave like crazy now because you have 2 cards that just come out swinging, bro. So this is very, very powerful. This card's actually insane. I want to say that this card's better than Sulfudhole. Sulfudhole summons itself and then pops. And then if he's pop, he summons from deck. But this card's definitely better. Then we have Tristalos. So when your opponent activates a card effect, quick effect, you can special summon a Crystron monster from your deck. That's actually insane. Rich Homie Quan summons from hand. Rion summons from Banish Zone. And Citri summons from hand. All those are kind of poo. Except for Rion, but it's just like what made Rion not that great was because it's summoned from Banish. Y'all don't know nothing, bro. If y'all watching this, y'all probably don't even know how to play Crystrons. But it actually mattered. So like Rion for the most part was kind of the best one. But his level made your plays kind of just awkward all the time. So you just have to have hindsight when you play this deck, and you always have to set up to play. So your plays were not like real on your turn. You were just setting up on your turn and playing your opponent's turn. That's how the deck worked. This card's insane. This card actually can just do it on your turn. So a lot of these cards, these say like during your opponent's, and then during your opponent's. Main phase and battle phase, this card is the first Crystron tuner that enables you to do stuff on your turn. So your opponent activates a card or effect, broken. Quick effect, special Crystron from your deck, broken. Then immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summoning 1 machine monster using that monster you control. So you don't even have to use him as the tuner. You could just use the monster from the deck plus any other tuner. You could banish this card from your graveyard, cost, destroy a synchro monster you control, and if you do oh my god. Special summon 2 from deck? Whoa! That's insane, bro. Oh my god! This card is crazy, bro. This card's crazy. This is an extender for sure, bro. This card is like, oh man, I can already imagine the turn 1. I gotta go in the lab and cook, bro. I think after this video's done, I'm gonna start cooking with Crystron combos and show you guys what I come up with. They got a trap card. It's welcome because entry is trash. Impact is pretty good, but it's also just not. It's not a standalone card. And Crystrons don't have any standalone spells and traps, but now they do. Inclusion, and I assume this is gonna be good. Crystron cards you control cannot be banished by your opponent's card effects. Okay, whatever. You can target 1 face-up card on the field, or up to 2 if you control a Crystron Synchro monster. Shuffle 1 Crystron card from your graveyard or banishment. Oh, dang, bro. That's really good. That's actually really good. That's really good. That's like resource management. So this deck can go infinite off of cluster. You pop. You could pop 1 or pop 2. Keep in mind you could pop your own cards. That is super relevant that they actually kept the effect where you could pop your own cards, because your crackback is going to be like undeniably crazy strong, because this card's going to dodge targeting effects. This card, people always are making like SPs all the time, putting up princesses and whatever. They're just putting up so many cards that can like target. Technically cluster out counterplays princess, because if you're playing, you're playing into their board, you know, they try and play into yours, they don't kill you, you live. Their princess engraved could be cut off by cluster by just popping the princess targets, which is crazy. So much value that you get off this card. If they have like a backup Imperm Veiler, or they set up a SP Little Knight, you could dodge the targeting effects with this card and just recycle your resources. I want to say, oh, wow, I'm actually amazed by this card. It's not even that broken, but the card design, because it's diversified in how you could use it, makes it applicable in scenarios that make it like not just an interruption, but like it's a defensive card to play keep away. So I think this is a really, really strong start, because Crystrons haven't got any support ever since they got their newest Synchro, which is Crystron Quandrax, and they got freaking Citri, because originally it was Rich Homie Quan and Rion, and then we got Citri later, and it still wasn't good. We got Sulfudhole, Citri, and Quandrax all in, like, I believe the same go, and it still wasn't good. Like, this is the new Synchro, Eleskeletas, okay? Generic, it doesn't matter, you know, you locked in a machine, so they better be generic. Monster your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. That's probably the just because effect, because like Konami has to give cards 3 effects now because they have to get everything in the popular treatment because like the bar set so high you can't deviate, you can't go backwards now, you can't make a card with 1 effect now. You have to, yeah. You can only use each of the effects of Eleskeletas once per turn. If this card synchro summon, add a Crystron card from your graveyard or banish zone to your hand. That's amazing. That's actually really, really good. That's incredible for a multitude of reasons because you don't even have to add the trap off Schmeiger. You could also dump it off the level 5 and then just add it from grave to hand. That's really good. That's really good, especially if you need Schmeiger to get inclusion to grab like a monster. Your monster can be an extender and dump like cluster, and then the synchro on summon can add the trap. I don't even know if that would be a standard go-to. That's just like an idea that I'm thinking of off the rip. It adds, so it's like follow-up, or it's just another layer. If the secret summon card is destroyed by battle card effect, special summon a Crystron monster from your grave or banishment. It is not going to do anything to the opponent, and this is already the problem that Crystrons have, is they don't do anything to the opponent. They just like swarm the field and get so much advantage, but advantage is just like not, it just diminishes in quality when it can't be converted into resources to defend yourself from the onslaught that is like tier 1 decks. Yeah, a Matrix doesn't do anything, this card doesn't do anything. Phoenix and Carry On Quandrax still are going to remain the best, but they're really hard to set up, and oftentimes you have to commit a lot of resources. Even if I had to commit my entire 1-card combo to summoning Quandrax, it's not worth it because this is just like 1 layer, you know, of interruption. The cutest thing about this synchro is always like, I remember back in the day I used to banish my opponent's cards, and then I would pop this card and then take their banished monsters. So it was like the coolest thing ever. It's pretty nice. So I think to this day, even though these supports are really strong, Crystrons are going to have to go outside of their archetype to grab quality interruptions. You are locked in a machine, so you're probably going to have to do something like this. Monster, you're going to go synchro, and then you're going to go machine, and you're going to have to actually just dig deep, you know what I'm saying? And then because they also can link, you're going to have to go into link and then dig deep on machine, and because they can XYZ, you're going to go into XYZ and you're going to dig deep. I'm going to go into the lab, and I'm probably going to cook up something super hot fire. But yeah, as of right now, their engine actually is really good for value. Kind of reminds me of Plunder Patrols before they first got like their best interruptions. It's like really good value right now. Unfortunately, it doesn't do enough to the opponent. So in order for Crystron to thrive in a competitive format, their inboard is not going to be full of Crystron cards. I could see Cluster for sure, and I could see summoning this guy just to like climb up your way into like more resources to use the bodies and the fluidity of the deck to make what you want to make. But we're probably going to be making non-Crystron synchros and non-Crystron extra deck monsters all the time, and we're just going to use the value and the bodies that you get off the engine to enable that critical mass and summon a bunch of machine monsters. And it's probably going to force us to like dig deep and find crazy stuff. I mean, off the rip, I know that this deck can make Dragster. I know now that it has 2 level 5s, I could see Nova and Infinity being a thing. Because, I mean, they're literally telling us, right? This is a level 5 machine. You get 2 level 5 machines in your main combo. That's super easy to do. So Nova Infinity, so you have like a good Omni Negate. You have Dawn Dragster that you could go into. Samurai Destroyer is okay. Yeah, we're going to cook. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm definitely going to be figuring out what I do to break this deck, because I like breaking like dumb decks, and Crystron's one of like those cool decks that I like so much. And I like when decks are underrepresented and they're bad, and like I like to make them good, bro. I definitely like to take that underdog deck and overperform with the deck that's underperforming. Thank you for watching. Deuces, baby.